If you are slain by the dragon, again, there's a couple of choices. You can just give up and die, but then you're resigning your commission as a hero. Or you can persist. Jonah was swallowed by a dragon, slain by a dragon, and he didn't let it stop him. Many of us have been slain by dragons. We hit bottom, as they say, in 12-step programs. And we didn't give up. We found a way to persist. That's another choice when you're slain by a dragon. To find rebirth. And that's one of the powerful versions of the hero's journey story. Those heroes who were beaten down and found a way to reclaim the rightful place for themselves. Now, another way of dealing with the dragon, of course, is to prevail. And then the question becomes, if you slay the dragon, what do you do? Do you leave the dead carcass there? Drink the blood. Cut the heart out and eat it. Now that's graphic language. What is that? That's the warrior spirit recognizing that there is value in that dragon. There is power, force, that if I have slain that dragon, I am the legitimate heir to. And I'm going to claim it and not just ignore that value and leave it behind. I earned it. It's mine and I'll take it. And some of us have been able to do that in our adversities. To find strength from those vanquished adversaries. And we've taken the strength that was there, that was being used against us, and taken it in as our own. That's what ideally we do with our shadows. See, a lot of times people talk about their shadows. They're, parts of us that we wish weren't there, pop out now and then, kind of embarrassing. Sometimes worse than embarrassing, hurtful. And people sometimes say, I just wish I could get rid of that part of me, And the truth is we can't. We could leave it like a corpse of a dragon, but we're connected to it. We took responsibility when we slayed it. So, as we resolve the conflicts within that come out in those shadow behaviors, let's remember to take the strength from that part of us. It developed as a shadow, as one of those behaviors on the last column there. It developed as a shadow, as a protection, a way to allow me to survive adversity. Now, decades later, I don't need that anymore because I'm not facing the same adversity anymore. But it became a habit. And I need to recognize I don't need that anymore. I don't need that dysfunctional behavior that developed, but I do want to reclaim the strength that's at its core. And that's what it means to eat the heart of that dragon. Carl Jung said one time, it makes as much sense to get rid of your shadows as to cut your head off to solve a headache. Really. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. And we're the baby. So here we are at the threshold to the land of the unknown. We have these dragons that are challenging us. One way or another, they have strengthened us. They have forced us to find the grit within. What am I made of? And if I'm just, taking the easy way, I'll never know what I'm made of. And I'll never access a good share of what I'm made of. It'll just languish, unused, unclaimed. So these dragons in our way are really allies, and that's the third choice. We can fight with them, we can turn around and go back, or we can make an ally of the dragon. And there are some wonderful, powerful stories of how the hero at that threshold makes a friend, a companion of those dragons. They don't always take the form of dragons. Sometimes they take the form of Yeah?
Your father-in-law.
Yeah, your father-in-law, right. Magicians that have shape-shifted into looking like somebody in the family.
And it reminds me of the bodhisattvas, those bodhisattva opportunities.
Yeah, any good teacher is going to have the capacity to challenge you. If you have a teacher that doesn't challenge you, make sure you have at least another teacher that does. Otherwise, you're not going to know what you're made of. So the hero now is strengthened for the journey that lies ahead. And that's important because entering into the land of the unknown requires a lot of strength, courage, faith, self-confidence, community. Because the hero always finds that having left one community, there's a new one to create. With people that are also on the journey in the land of the unknown. That's an important asset for the hero too. The community that can be created. So, and part of that community is either the dragons or the remnants of the dragons that have been salvaged. So the hero then begins to have lots of adventures. You know, encounter this, deal with it, and then something else. There's always something new. That's the nature of the land of the unknown.
Like the shame release process.
And it's not aimless journey. It might be that the way is not clearly marked, but it's not aimless, because there's a treasure to be found. There's always, in the hero's journey, a treasure waiting. And there's always guardians that are there to keep the hero from claiming the treasure. If there weren't guardians guarding it, how valuable a treasure would it be? So the hero has to, again, find the resources within to deal with more dragons. You know, one of the primary dragons that the hero has to deal with at that point is unworthiness. Am I worthy to claim this treasure? Well, gee, who am I? Let's see, what did my mother say? Who do you think you are? Who do I think I am?
Get off your high horse.
Have you ever encountered that in your life? A point in time when you knew there was a treasure there for you to claim. And the fight, the, what'd you call it? Tug of war. Do I really deserve it? Will the treasure recognize me as a legitimate partner?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just change my direction, find an easier one.
Find one that's easy, or, you know, one that's kind of more plain, that is probably more what I deserve. So we fight with those, either fight with, turn back. Some heroes turn back at that point. After the adventures they have gone through to get to the treasure, they're turned back by the challenge of claiming it.